Hey there, Patapon, Patreon, Saucepan, how's it going, y'all? I wanted to do, Toho Clock for the imagery going on today, but for some reason I couldn't get the animations to run for some reason. It's been a while since I've done this. Also of note, I believe it is kind of important. So the deadline has been met for submitting games for, the B-side vote, which we're going to be having pretty darn gosh soon. It's just that I'm gonna make a separate video where I go through the trailers again, and I'm hoping to get that done and published early this week. Like, I'm basically aiming for Monday. So unless you don't think you'll be able to vote for like the next 3 weeks or something, um, I would suggest that you wait until I release that video and vote on that video, basically. Where I'm going to basically give the whole list of games available, as well as show off the trailers and all that. You know how it works. I'm gonna review the rules, how it works. Like nothing unusual. It's things are fun and games and always full of lard. So today, though, it's been a while. We're gonna be reading questions. Most people, a lot of people wrote about the games they want me to play. For the most part, I am not going to include this. A lot of people wrote like a paragraph to explain the decision to put a game or not. We're going to leave that off. But however, there are a few messages that I did keep because I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Otherwise, I still got normal questions, so let's go about that. And I guess it's gonna start with Fariel. Hey, Raocow, sorry I've been absent for so long, but I need to take this opportunity real quick. God damn, I forgot about the enter thing. Raocow, please play Ori and the Blind Forest, Definitive Edition. It is of the utmost importance that you do. Then you put down trailer URL, which we're going to be part of the showcase tomorrow, or in future. It's a Metroidvania. It's beautiful. It feels good, even just to control. I played on normal, and it's quite challenging, but almost never felt stupid. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. After playing it for the first time, I felt literally lovesick for the game, and it's my second favorite game in the world. It's also pretty short, entirely too short. It took me like 13 hours to beat, and I took my sweet ass time smelling the flowers and such because I didn't want it to end. I'm gonna replay the hell out of it. I'm getting all those achievements, even the one for beating the game without losing a life. I felt that this was a very passionate paragraph that had to be read. But not only that, I feel like it is a game that I might actually play, like choose to play even if it doesn't get voted. Like, how I let myself the choice if I want to play a thing between two games? Yeah. Even AOD, like, I made him watch the trailer for this game, and he was like, man, I would maybe actually watch you play that. And he never watches my LPs, so... I just felt that Fariel's very passionate paragraph had to be read because I'm probably not going to be reading the text that people gave me with their game submissions tomorrow. But yes. Josh Triplet. Oh yeah, this one. I'd like to nominate Super Paper Mario again. Many people wanted to see it in the previous round, and doing it as a B-side mean it won't block Mario hacks for a long time. However, it will block B-sides. Do we really want another DT3 instance again? Despite being part of the Paper Mario series, it isn't RPG mechanics intensive like the rest of the series. You still attack enemies directly rather than going into separate battle screens. Sorry about that. And I'd enjoy seeing Cal's reaction to it. The reason why I'm leaving this in here is because I feel it is important to state that, yes, technically, I'm not going to reject offhand very few, but nonetheless very rare Mario games that were added to, the repertoire of games to vote for on the B-side. And the reason for that is because like back when, like a while ago, I made a poll in the talk house, whereas would people be okay with Mario games on a B side? And although it's not anonymous, the winner of the poll was nonetheless yes. Was people would be okay with that. So, I mean, that means people would be okay with that. Nothing much I can do about that. So, but yeah, so, so, yes. So and yes, together at last, finally. So, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I said it, and I'm proud. No, but see, so yeah, basically Mario games are fair bit. Although I would rather it not be Mario games, like, I'm not going to disqualify them. I still don't know if I want to play Super Paper Mario, though. Rita Turnip, first! Just kidding, you always read Patreon before YouTube anyways. What did you think of Evo? Colin capital O. I knew my boys Kane Blue River and Sonic Fox and Infiltration were gonna take it. Or at least that's what I hope and assume. We'll ask real questions in 2 weeks. There'll be another post here in like 12 days, probably. I thought Evo was pretty rad this week. Like, it was a solid Evo. There wasn't a whole lot of surprises. There were some here and there. The one thing that really bums me up about Evo this year is on the third day. Like, they got on this huge stage, and at the end of the evening, when it was full, it was really impressive. But the sound quality was such a weird oversight. It's like either you could get the hype of the crowd, but then the commentary would have, like, a really nasty echo to it, or you would have a clean commentary but no crowd hype. And like the whole purpose of Evo is that you have a huge audience that bring in the hype, and we missed that for like half the day. That was so unfortunate. That is a real bummer. Also, lots of mirror matches and finals for some reason. Notably, Guilty Gear and Street Fighter V, which, it's just... I mean, normally I don't care too much about mirror fights, but then it's mirror fights about characters I don't really care much about. Again, eh. So yes. But overall, it was a very positive experience, and I'm glad I watched. I'm glad I took the time to watch and sit down and get laughed at, mocked by my roommate for just sitting down and watching a thing for 3 days and doing nothing else. But it was worth it, and I thought it was fun and neat and fun. Looking forward to next year and possibly what Evo Japan is gonna be all about. Zipto, since the new Patapon will only come in 2 weeks, I think that would be a good time to do a postmortem on DT. So, question is, what is your opinion in DT in general, and that ending in particular? And also, you may want to check this weird game when it comes out. Let's just check the Steam thing here. Link. D3, Distorted Travesty. A trilogy of some kind. Oh, Copy Kitty! Oh, finally! Copy Kitty is actually going to be released at some point? On August 11th. Finally. Man. That's been a while since I played that game, haven't I? Like, honestly, I can't believe it's finally going to be released for a wider market. And apparently, they changed their company name to Nuclear Strawberry, which is alright. Man. Huh, finally. So, yeah, Distorted Travesty is a video game. No, yes. Well, I mean, yes, it is a video game. Video game. Video game. What am I even... Why can I not focus today? So, a video game is a game you put in video... No, yeah, Distorted Travesty. I thought the game was great with a lot of very, like, interesting tiny moments. Like, and the thing is, there are so many tiny moments and little things that a lot of them is going to be forgotten. Because, like, it's about a whole bunch of video games, but it doesn't necessarily, like, exclaim it, if that makes sense? And you've got things like, like, the place where suddenly you're playing a round of like Space Invader, like suddenly in the shmup section you're suddenly playing Asteroid. Like there's a lot of respect for the actual like classic, the oldies, except it all goes all the way to modern genre, like including tower defense games, and it is such a solidly like lovingly crafted game. And as it actually is legitimately fun to play. Each upcoming game, 2 versus 1 and 3 versus 2, like made the game more fluid to play, more actually fun to actually control and manage your extremely high amount of options, and try to make that work, using a fairly limited amount of button. And it worked. And it worked super well. And then, I posted the last video, and basically anything everyone was talking about was the disappointing ending. And the Fireburst tried to explain the end as if he was saying that, it's because, Hex is always one step ahead of Jeremy, and so it made sense that, he'd be one step ahead of Jeremy at the end, and so it'd win. I get the feeling that the Fireburst assumed we would like Hex a lot more than anyone actually does. And again, I made the comparison of Distorted Travesty 3, especially to sprite-based webcomics that were there in early aughts. It's just where, it starts the same way. It starts with being funny, making fun of specific tropes about games, about the things that work and things that doesn't, how goofy it all is. But then slowly and steadily it turned into this weird thing, where it's OCs get more and more OCs get involved and gain more and more importance. And then, the author kind of expects you to be way into his original characters' do not steal sprite edits. And then the story gets really weirdly, uncomfortably self-serious, even though it's still trying to pop jokes in there. And then the ending's full-on melodrama, and it just doesn't work because the entire universe is completely and patently absurd. And it's like the author either doesn't realize this or assume that we are so into their OCs that we'll play along. Except it just doesn't work, unfortunately. It's unfortunate to say, but that's just how it goes. People just are not as into it as I think he was hoping. And that's all there is to it, really. And I think it's unfortunate, because that's, like I said, ultimately, the ending is so bad that that's all that people talk about. And people do not talk about the actual game. Here, when you ask me about a game, I can't even speak. I try and speak about the game, but it always comes back to speaking about the reception, and it's completely polluted by. And I just think it's so bad. It's too bad. It's really, really unfortunate. If the game... it doesn't even need to be an uplifting ending. It could be a depressing ending, but it's badly made, though. That's the problem. The problem isn't even that it's a bad... it's a bad ending in the sense I know all the hero dies or whatever. The problem is that the execution is extremely clumsy. And... it kind of ignores, sort of hints and things, throughout the game. Throughout the game, it had been pretty fairly established that Chao could undo Hex's code relatively easily, and yet she doesn't even try. Not even an hint of trying to do anything on the computer consoles. But, what's up with that? And that's just, the more I think about it, the more weird holes there are, and it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. There's nothing else to say about it, so I won't. It's just real sad. Lovely Penguin, is it possible to have 2 Mario ROM hacks or SMBX episode as both the A side and the B side, or would that be an overload? That's totally cool. It's totally alright. It's totally okay. You give me a YouTube link and I don't know what it's for. It's for Meritus Cursed Seal! An extremely awesome song from an extremely awesome indie game called Meritus. The very end of the game, right before the final boss. It's 7 minutes long, so I might cut it short, because that is really long. Meritus, I don't know if I know that game. It doesn't ring any bells to me. No personal bells. Yo, do you have any real life weird... So yeah, as I said, it's okay to have 2 games. It's okay to have a Mario game and a B-side, although I hope that's not the case, but I'm not going to stop y'all if you're all, like, very much into that. Do you have any real life weird / scary stories? Any kind of strange events that happened to you that you can't explain? Not really. I wish I did, but nothing comes to mind, so I'm afraid I'm just going to have to put that on by for now. I don't, like if I did, we're so minor that I'm not immediately reminded of anything. Like, scary story, I was witness to a very bloody accident. Does that count? I mean, technically that was pretty scary. Just like, it's not something that happened to me, but it was pretty scary, so I feel like it counts, but I don't know if it's cheating. So here we are. Oh, this music really picks up compared to how it starts. Cesspool of Hatred. Hello, Mr. Dao. Welcome back to the post-Evo world. With the music. That's gonna have to wait a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Man, what a crazy weekend. Smash 4 Melee Finals were just fantastic to watch. What were your own personal most hype moments? And what surprised you the most? Where it was one of the match or one of the announcements on stage. How do you feel about Evo Japan? What sort of lineup do you think we'll see there? Anyway, I have some game recommendations for you today. Anyways. Okay, so I'm just kind of weirdly off track again, as I kept being all day. Most surprising, like, the thing that I found was funniest is that you had Guilty Gear, who after the grand finals were like, yo, Dizzy's coming back, and not only that, it's tomorrow. Also, sweeping, you know, balance changes going on right now. And look up for, with like a very short trailer, but really hype trailer, but the fact that Dizzy was available the day after was really hype and all. And then you have Street Fighter, who, like, don't even have a trailer, but they make an announcement that's super clumsy, going, I don't know, jury's at the end of the month, sure you can. It was really pathetic, and, like, I don't know, like, you'd think that Capcom would be able to at least show something, Capcom at least, and then you've got, like, Axis, or is that an Arc System? Arxis? Like, they go out of their way, and they, it's just the generosity. Also, oh yeah, that too, yeah, Dizzy is free for, like, a little bit, while, like, it's just, I don't know, like, the contrast between the quality of both announcements was kind of amazing. I'm not sure what Evo Japan even means. Like, I'm pretty sure there was an attempt at trying that in the past and just never got anywhere. And technically, they already do have more or less the equivalent of Evo Japan in SBO, you know, a very big multi-game fighting game tournament that happens throughout a weekend. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Like, I'm not sure what they're trying to do there exactly. I hope for the best, but I hope only goes so far, I guess, which is a weird thing to say putting down. Meritus, I'm sorry, your music has gone for 4 minutes. I'm gonna put Cesspool of Hatred before we get all backed up. Thank you for understanding. Knock You Down from Live Alive, composer Yoko Shimomura. In case you were in the business of knowing about composers. Cesspool of Hatred continues. Anyways, I have some game recommendations for you today. Undertale, getting the obvious one out of the way, people are starting to voice varying thoughts about this once again. I feel that I may have inadvertently brought something grand and terrible. I feel like I needed to add this here to the thing because this is Street Fighter. Silva Gunner again. Man, high quality rips. Anyways, yes, the Undertale thing. Surprisingly large amount of people are very much into not voting for Undertale. Including, you know, a lot of people who go, yo, as a person that has an Undertale avatar, please don't play Undertale. I get the feeling like a lot of people are passionately against me playing Undertale, and I think it's important to know that I probably know way too much about Undertale at this point for it to be worthwhile as a blind playthrough. I'm not gonna go into detail here in case anyone wants to be safe of, like, anything, but I know a lot. And it's just like, maybe, like, the only fun it would be to me, probably, is that I could put memes and stuff that I know into context, whereas I basically know it as a whole bunch of separated factoids, I guess. But I just thought it was important to know that a lot of Undertale fans are very against the idea of me playing Undertales, which I thought pretty funny. Okay, and then yeah, he goes off about other games, but I'm not going to go further into detail about his other picks. I don't think it's necessary. I just felt like it was needed to talk about that. And finally, before we get back to the usual stuff the week or so after this, there is unfinished business. Would be cruel to leave the mystery of the rip unsolved any longer, and implore you to use your eyes once more for each of these 3 clues for true vision. Use them carefully and thoroughly, and go back and forth as you please. Here is the Mario rip from before. So this is the Sky Pop thing that I just do not understand. Because to me, that sounds pretty much exactly like the Marine Pop and Sky Pop song from Super Mario Land. Like, unless my memory is just playing tricks, like I'm looking at the title screen of Super Mario Land right now, and like everything looks cool. Everything looks okay. I'm keeping my eyes here open, as per, you know, required and ordered by the fanciful sign that was hung up on the wheelscape, and other complete nonsense. Alright, so it's over. Nothing happened. Good job. Okay. When you're done with that, please take a look at this. Alright. I'm taking a look at another video. Okay, so there it says also Marine Pop, Sky Pop, and it's a Mario 1 song, basically. Wait, is that a Marine Pop song backward? Wait, what? That... Because that sounds like Mario 1, but it also... What? Then there's a TV trope link for some reason. I'm just gonna do that, I guess. Where do you want me to go here? Like, there's a link to the Gilva Sunner wiki page, but I don't know where you want me to go here, because I know what he does. Like, I know that his deal. So I guess the joke is just that he put out a thing that wasn't changed. Man, I'm gonna go through the page here just in case in my own time, because now I'm just kind of, I don't know. Anti-humor can be fun. But when you're at the butt of it, it becomes really frustrating. P.S. I wasn't actually expecting this particular gag to be drawn out for so long. I thought you would have got it as soon as you realized the song wasn't changed. Really should have taken into account from your past visit that you have tendency of missing the obvious and overthinking things. How is that obvious, though? Like, how is that obvious? I am... If you don't know about this particular how is that obvious? Huh. Like, it's just that... I don't know. I feel like you need some information to get that one. It's still pretty hilarious, though. Anyway, keep being you, Mr. the Cow. I will... Man. Nickel Fire. I guess might as well return to regular chaos again. Music from a relatively new game made for a relatively old console. What is it gonna be like? Power Kid? What am I talking? What is it? Pi Solar OST Mountain Range. Pierre Solar, actually. Piersolar. By far the best track in the game. Should mention that these are all the PCM versions, not the FM. Not anyone can confuse this for Genesis music. Thank you, Klazari. Liking the sound of this, though. This is pretty good. Yo. Questions follow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how recharged are your Let's Play batteries after your evocation? I thought you were recharged fine, but when I came back, I died a whole lot in Toad's toadening. So who knows, but I'm feeling a lot more refreshed, I think. I probably should find the time to take more actual breaks. Maybe it's just that to me it's important that my channel keeps having a thing every day. So that implies working more to get stuff more done. So I don't know. But yeah, no, it was comfortable. It was recharging a little bit. Like, I need, like, to make myself a break where, like, I don't watch Evo. Like, basically a break where I can really just do nothing for a few days would probably be a good idea. T, what fictional universes, beside a Mario one, do you think would make for good RPG material? I don't know. Well, I mean, we saw that you could have interesting RPG bosses in Kirby, so I'm gonna use that as a safe bet. 3, would you sleep in a reputed haunted house for a cash price? Yeah. Ghosts don't exist, so yeah. 4, it's been a while. Recommend something. Watch Mob Psycho 100. New anime being done, it is super good. If you want something more obscure, watch, what's it called? The Thunderbolt Revolution? Let me check real quick. It's on Crunchyroll. What's the name? Yeah, Thunderbolt Fantasy. It is a wuxia puppet show that is amazing! If you like fights, if you like anime, if you like that kind of nonsense, it is way better than it has any rights to be. It is super good, awesome, cool. Is corn grass? Is it? Let's check on Wikipedia. Corn. Or maize, as call it here. Let's see here. It's a plante, angiosperm, monocot, camelinid, poalis, family Poaceae, subfamily Panicoidea, tribe Andropopogonea, Genesea, species Zemaeus, and subspecies Zemaeus. Zemaeus. So I don't know if that means it's a grass or not, because I don't know what grass is. Let's look up grass. In comparison. Oh, a grass is a Poaceae, apparently. Wow. Is that, and then this is from the and you know, corn from the family Poaceae. So biologically, I guess that corn is grass. I never knew that. Oh my god, that is kind of amazing. I've learned a thing today. 6. A powerful super string turns into a 4-dimensional being. What does this entail, and what do you subsequently do? At first, I read that as, what does this email? And I was a little bit confused. Man, I... Does that not make me a god if I am four-dimensional? Like, I'm not sure what that means exactly. Because there was a four-dimensional entity in Space Dandy, and she could basically do whatever she wanted. So I guess, you know, that means you might not actually need, like, food and things to keep you alive as we know it. So, man, I don't know. That means I can do all my Let's Play videos for eternity and then post them one at a day and still have time to do everything I want. Being a fourth dimension is, like, it's hard to me what it entails, because I'm not even sure what it entails. Fourth dimensionality is scary. Meatball Rider. Dear cow. Let's go! Following Miko Fire's lead. Blame that guy. Nuts. And then a YouTube address. This is all confusing. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 2SD Stage Theme 7. We go nuts! Restless Night. Composer Kenji Yamamoto. Man. Yum Dada's all D Blackjack 21 here, bros. Sure. Go crazy. What was the first game that was really touched by the dreaded pop cultural osmosis? What? What? What was the first game that was really touched by the dreaded pop cultural osmosis? I know the adventures in Castlevania had knowledge of the Flippy Castle. Doesn't really need a notable event. What? Well, I mean, the first game that was really touched by dreaded pop cultural osmosis was Pac-Man, yo. Like... Does Pac-Man, like, had songs about it? It had a whole album dedicated to that, like a bad 70s cartoon. Like, Pac-Man was a thing. You'd say Pac-Man, and old people that are 80 years old will be able to, you know, vacantly kind of recall at least something. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was more popular than Pong and Space Invader. Like, I don't know, like, Space Invader was super popular, but I think that Pac-Man had a lot bigger of an impact in pop culture, I do believe. I mean, is that what you're asking? Because the Castlevania thing doesn't make any sense as a pseudo-answer to your question. 2. What question would you ask of Death if you ever saw it walking down the street? I'd say to Death, hey, Death, could you do me a favor and skip out on a few of these people that I know? Thank you. I mean, technically it's a question, and like, it's a request, but because there's a question mark, it's hidden as a question. 3. Last week, a powerful question was about best endings, but how do you feel about endings that explain essentially nothing? All I want from an ending is to be amused. If the ending amuses me, I'm okay with it. Like Monty Python Knights of the Round Table ending, I am super okay with that. It explains nothing, it is an anti-ending of the strongest of persuasions, but it is amazing. It's funny, it's entertaining, and it fits the work. I'm happy with that. It's all about execution. It's always all about execution. That never stops being all about execution. 4. What is the weirdest item you've ever kept in your bag for at least a week? My bag? Weirdest item. Coconut statue that was given to me by my grandparents from Florida. Like a coconut statue that was formed into like a sort of sitting down monkey shape carved thing. Yes. That's probably it. Back in college, because I was using it as a... centerpiece of a 3D art class I had, except, you know, I just kept carrying it around with me for convenience, I guess. I don't have really a good reason for it. I have a reason for why I needed it. I don't have a reason why I kept hanging on to it, though, because it took a lot of space. 5. The powerful wizard is taking out the trash, and to powerful wizards that entails dumping it all on some schmuck's lawn. Powerful wizards are a real jerk, wow. In an unexpected twist, that lawn is yours! Powerful wizard's trash can have some cool things in it, like wizard hats that are too small or out of fashion, or tomes. But trash can also have bad things in it, like ghosts or other creepy things. Dare you delve into the magical trash? Yes, but with a stick. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna root around safely at first. If it looks safe enough, you ain't got nothing to lose. But if you're just using a stick, the ghost is gonna go, oh, but don't know it's a stick, and doesn't want to get hit, so it's gonna stay away. 6. Do the ends justify the means? Depends on how extreme you're talking about, and depends on the means. If you absolutely need a yes or no answer, I'm gonna give you the good old yes. 7. What do you get when you cross a joke in a rhetorical question? I see what you did there, and I will not acknowledge it any more than that. Swirly Bomb. I would also like to negative vote Undertale, because why are people still pushing it? It is not good LP material? Question mark, question mark, question mark. We're gonna go about that later, but by which I mean not this video. Have you ever played the Donkey Kong Country SNES, of course, games? Yes, I did. All 3. I have 100, 101, and 105%, all of them. If not, or if you only play 1 or 2 of them, I like to suggest them, or at least whichever ones you haven't played. If it aids the decision making, here's a quick rundown of the 3 games. From my perspective, at least, opinions will vary. So I'm gonna read this because it's kind of fun little retrospective, but yeah, I didn't put the Donkey Kong Country games in my vote list because I have not only played, but close to mastered them, because I've played them several times in my youth. And, and your little paragraph there did mention, did ask if I've ever played them. So that's why I'm not including them. If people want to write them in when I do the vote thing, I'm not opposed to it, though. So, DKC1 is the most vanilla of the series, with the fewest unique gameplay elements, primarily nature-themed levels, and much of the music is more ambient, atmospheric, than melodic. It's probably the least exciting, but probably a good place to start if you haven't played the games before and want some pure platforming action. Bonus rooms pretty much just provide you with lives, and finding them adds to your completion percentage, but you won't earn anything from perfect cleaning the game, side a quick congratulations. It's also the only one where you actually play as DK. DKC2 is arguably the best. I agree with that. It expanded heavily on the original, has way more interesting levels and varied environments. The atmosphere is much darker and gloomier, in a good way. The music is a fantastic mix of melody and atmosphere, like hearing the creaking groaning of the ship in the ship deck levels, or the bubbling lava in the lava levels within with the actual music. The game's also pretty challenging. Clearing all the bonus rooms will allow access to a secret world and a true ending. There are also DK coins to be found in every level to prove your mastery, but they're strictly optional. DKC3 kind of goes in a different direction with a different art style and game structure, and focuses primarily on putting some kind of gimmick in every single level, which I think makes each one memorable, but might be too much for some. This one also has a secret world and true ending. But this time you're required to get absolutely everything to get it. It's kind of the most video gamey of the 3. Probably don't need trailers for the whole game, and here's a virtual console gameplay trailer for each anyways. You know what? Reading about this makes me think that I think I wouldn't mind replaying them. So I'm going to add to my list here DKC3 Trilogy. There you go. See, Trilogy. Because I feel like if I'm gonna play one, I want to play all of them. Although playing the trilogy one behind another might be a lot. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's okay. Cesspool of Hatred is back. Emergency question, since I'm largely unfamiliar with how the voting process here works. Do this anti-vote nonsense actually count for anything? Not that I'm salty that most of it's directed towards Undertale or anything. I mean, feel free to dislike a game and say why you don't think it's a good choice. But I don't think we need to cross that boundary of putting a negative vote towards a game you don't like and essentially taking a vote away from another paying Patapon who does like that game. It just strikes me as kinda unnecessarily spiteful and disrespectful towards other peeps' votes. So the reason why I have an anti-vote system. So, by the way, you can't anti-vote a game while it's being, while we're just kind of proposing them. Like that it's like Undertale's gonna be on a voting list. Don't worry about it. The reason why I have a system of anti-vote going on is because if you don't, you get a lot of people who basically just vote for, games that are having good scores because they don't want a certain game to win, which is fine. But I feel like you shouldn't try to aim okay, which game's gonna win, and then this game's I don't want it to win, so I'm gonna vote for this other game that's gonna win. If you vote for a game, I want you to vote for it because you think it looks interesting, and no other reason. So by giving people the option of spending some of their points negatively, it makes it so they can just concentrate on the games they want, and then just, even if they're not popular, if they really, because what happens if I see votes for games that are not popular, I still get the idea that there's still an interest in those games, and something that I might consider slipping in myself. So the idea is that in that case, people can vote for really what they want, and speak a message there clearly, and then spend some points just diminishing the game that they don't want, because that to me also speaks a lot. Like if I see a game that gets a lot of negative attention, alright, some people are very militant about not wanting to see that game being played. That to me is much more precious information than kind of misguiding where people might be hyped to see. I don't know if what I said there makes sense, but I hope it does. That's the reason why I do have an anti-vote system going. But again, since it's your first time voting, there's going to be a little bit more detail about that on the next video, with the one with the actual voting and trailers and stuff. Alright, I hope that it's okay. I just noticed, I'm at my last question here. I'm just gonna check my emails real quick, because I don't have Pizza Pony, and that's pretty weird. There we go. Posted this morning. Whoa, weird. What? Oh, okay, I see. No, sorry about that. I'm just kind of in my own world here. Alright, I'll just read that directly from here. But anyways, Zachary Etier is here. Hey there, Raocow. I finally have the time and composure to ask you some more questions. I know you don't like instrumental so much, but I think this one's pretty good. Where did you think I didn't like instrumental? I think instrumental music is amazing. It's just that it needs to have a melody. I like lyrical music, yes, but you can have instrumental that is lyrical. Let's see, Rhythm Heaven, Struck by the Rain, Karate Man. I complete the game reg, what's took for that, boo. See, this, at least as of yet, it is plenty lyrical. Hey there, yes, okay, so. No, wait a second. That's not an instrumental. It has voice. What are you talking? You're confusing me. Just know that it's about love, like 70% of songs are. With that being taken care of, here's a few questions. Since you played some RPGs in your youth, what do you feel was the biggest mistake you made on a playthrough of one? Being a perfectionist, I cannot tolerate too many errors. Basically putting espers on my characters all willy-nilly in Final Fantasy VI without even trying to understand the esper leveling system. 2. What would you do if paper was flying at you in a formation created by a magician? Hide behind a shelf. The ultimate shield against paper. 3. What is the most disappointed hype thing that has left you, and what was it? What is the most disappointed hype thing has left me? Oh man. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I thought that game looked super cool, and I was watching videos for it, you know, and you know, I was watching like Wednesday night fights and stuff footage, and I thought it was pretty neat, and I bought it, and I just thought it was very unfun to actually play, and that deflated my hype tire something fierce. I still enjoy watching it, but oh man, trying to play it, I can't explain it, but it was just like I was just left completely deflated, and I did not expect that at all. 4. Finally, the age-old question: how much lumber could a lumberjack cut if a lumberjack could cut Jack? Well, probably not a whole lot if he cuts Jack, because he's gonna have to run away and, you know, evade the police and or end up in prison, because murder is a crime. I know you gave me slack for that one, I can tell, but I don't mind anyway. Criticism is a nice thing. Alright, I'm going right back to regaining progress in Fire Emblem Fates. And when watching this, save before Chapter 15. Good night, stay sharp, and watch out for scissors. Sure thing. Alright, I'm gonna be just, don't mind me, just erasing my messages here. Leaving the text for next time. God damn it, I keep messing it up. What if I did this, however? What a magic was accomplished. Alright, so, yeah, so Pizza Pony contacted me this morning. Actually, before I do that, I just want to check something real quick. Sorry, this is like the worst time to do this kind of shenanigans, but here I am. Yeah, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Alright. Pizza Pony, live from my email. A lot of people not checking the games other people had already proposed. LOL. Seems like there's more games than last time. Hope it's not too many with what I'll add. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna... So you are adding my friend... Sorry about this getting in the way there. Let's see here. Cave Story. Alright. He says doesn't need... Don't think I need a trailer for this, and that just means that if you don't give me a trailer, I'm not putting down the trailer when I do the video things. That's basically what it means. And Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to put this down as Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. And he gives me level 1, so I'm sure that counts. Alright. There you go. This is the extremely scientific process that goes into every game that gets submitted. Question! No, wait, music! Celebrate me finally getting Invincible Reigns in WoW, one of the most sought after mount. After 81 kills, it's a 1% chance to drop 1 chance per character per week. I have no context for this, but it sure sounds time-consuming. World of Warcraft Invincible. Video Games Live. VGL. Jillian Aversa and Russell Brower. Alright. Ooh, it's an orchestra. An orchestra playing WoW. Wow. Question. Sorry. I apologize. Questions! I have nothing prepared after 2 weeks! Laugh out loud! 1. So, first, I guess, I want to talk about how I see Let's Plays. I think of them not as money-making entertainment, but just playing a game with a bunch of people watching, as if we were all sitting on the same couch and you're the one with a controller. I don't like much, if any, editing, because we're here to see the game as it is, and if there's grinding, tough parts with lots of retrying, or just time-wasting filler, that's the game we chose to come sit down and watch you play, and we have the option to skip forward if we choose. Maybe it's just because since I was little, I played and watched games with my older brother, from NES to Xbox, so in my eyes, there are not bad games to Let's Play, but only bad YouTube commenters. Well, there's terrible games too, but you know. Let them decide how you enjoy video games is no way to live your life. I mean, sure. And I mean, that's a fair way of you seeing that. Maybe for a little bit of context, the way I, like, when I started to do Let's Plays, it's been a while now, I was mostly influenced by, what's his name? Ajan Jax, the guy who did, Ajax Jinx? It's like the guy that did the Mario Raisa challenge. Like, he played, like, Deathless. Like, he had a video Deathless of every level and, Second Reality Project. And on YouTube, there's another video of basically a person going through every level in VIP 1 without dying once. And that's where I came from. So I came into the realm of Let's Plays with the expectation that you do edit, or that you do select what you choose to show. So we come from Let's Plays from extremely different angles. It's almost surprising that there's enough compatibility there for you to enjoy my work, but yeah, like we approach things in a very different way. So this might explain why our opinions don't quite match very often. 2. What is the least used piece of furniture in your apartment? What is the least used appliance? Used furniture is probably one of the... honestly, the chairs around the dinner table. Man, there's some snappiness going on in the audio of this. Yeah, so yeah, no, yeah, totally. The tables around the dinner table are kind of wood and are not super duper comfortable, so easily less used. Appliance though, honestly, I wouldn't know. Maybe the bottle, like my roommate has this thing to make carbonated water, because she only uses it like once a week to fill up her carbonated water bottles. That's probably the one that gets the least use, I think. 3. What is your favorite kitchen tool? Either for its convenience, it's fun to use, or you think it looks cool. Blenders are pretty fun, just conceptually, so it has to be up there. Favorite though? Like, I don't know, that might be it. I will say the microwave oven is extremely convenient, and that will probably win the prize on that end. 4. If you can remember, when you played Mega Man 2 for the very first time, what was your reaction when Dr. Wily turned into an alien? That's a really good question, and honestly, I wish that I remembered. I think it wouldn't surprise me to just kind of accept it. I was like, oh, no, okay, Dr. Will is an alien. I guess that makes sense. And then I would get frustrated because whatever I tried to do wouldn't kill it, and then he would like almost insta-kill me just by touching me, and I'd be like, ah! But in a tiny kid voice instead of my adult voice. 5. Going to ask you what your favorite robot master is from each individual Mega Man 1 through 10. Time and Oil Man are from the PSP remake, if you didn't know. Favorite robot master from each of individual Mega Mans, huh? Alright. This is not very well organized, my friend. Oh, I see what it does. It puts them in order. Okay, so. Okay, so. Going from the top. Original, my favorite was probably be Guts Man. Number 2, probably Heat Man. 3, I want to say, having to choose just one, Snake Man is hilarious as a concept. Gemini Man has a weird face. I'm gonna put Hard Man. Yeah, I'm gonna put Hard Man. 4th, I will say Ring Man. 5, I'll put down Charge Man is hilarious. Crystal Man looks kind of doofy. I'm gonna put Starman, I think. 6, it has to be... I'm hesitating between Nightman and Yamato Man. Yamato Man. I think. A spear is fun. Mace is too, but a spear is fun. Alright, Mega Man 7. Turbo Man is literally a transformer. Slash Man is pretty cool, though. Gonna go with Slash Man. Number 8. Gonna go with Tengu Man. 9. Oh, so much of them are kind of really lame, honestly. I mean, Splash Woman is fun because there's finally a female character. All the other ones are just kind of lame, honestly. So yeah, let's go with Splash Woman. Number 10, Nitro Man, I think is super rad because he's way better at being a Transformer than Turbo Man. So there you go. I'm glad we could finally put this question to rest after all these years. And today, just a weird thought. Do you get a strange feeling in watching Nightmare Before Christmas in the scene where the military shoots Jack out of the sky? Is there a name for when something kind of serious, realistic happens in the middle of something fantasy? That has to have a name, but I have no idea what it could even be. I don't know if I'd say I'd have a strange feeling. Like, it's the kind of thing I just kind of accept. But, I get what you mean. I don't know if there's a name to that. I don't know how I would even look for what that name would be. But I agree with you. Yeah, honestly, the more I think about it, I don't know how that's called, though. Now you got me. Now you got this kind of nagging on the side of my brain. So thanks a lot, buddy. Otherwise, thank you very much for your batch of questions today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who joined up, who participated, who make this possible every week. I cannot thank y'all enough, and I think I say that every time. This is Raocow. Thanks, Patron. And yeah, look up for a video coming up during the week. Hopefully on Monday. Might be a few days off, but it should be on Monday. Where we look over the trailers of all the games and we can start the B-side Patreon vote.